have done a lot of videos, and on Facebook, I'm also on Facebook for over 2.5 years. I uploaded video and posted on Facebook last night and again this morning. So I didn't just come up with this name. I've been telling, and the media has covered it up for so many years. That's why I turned to the social media. I can't get an attorney, and horrible things have been done to me. I wrote about mind control murders back 76 till April Fool's Day of 80, and I had antifreeze put in me and should have died. It's my life has been a living hell. I've gone to the media, and believe me, the NAACP knew all about this. In fact, ask yourself about the Martin Luther King shooting, and ask yourself about why the John Kennedy, that was used in that, why it was covered up by the Warren Commission. So why am I telling you this? I found out about my kidnapping, and that's really it, not just the book that I wrote on mind control that never got published. But I was flown out to Larry Flint's because he was shot in Lawrenceville, Georgia, March the 6th of 78. And he says here that I know who was responsible for his shooting. I'd written about Dr. Larry McDonald, and he's got down here Murphy. But I wanted to, this is a mind control murder, the Haysom, that was done here in Bedford, Virginia. And this is Jens and Elizabeth Haysom, and they're in prison. They went to the University of Virginia. And maybe, well, I guess I better not say anything else here. People really hate me and wish I'd disappear. I didn't commit these murders. I didn't break the law. They were done on me. And people are afraid of it. It's not that they doubt it. But anyway, this is Timothy McVeigh. And he says, he's dead, by the way, put to death, that the U.S. Army implanted a chip up him. This is implantable biochips by Tex Mars. And by the way, I think, well, anyway, what I wanted to say was that on the videos last night and this morning and on Facebook, I put about Brian Nichols. Okay, he's a black man, and the Nichols comes back to Roanoke, Virginia, when the Rangers have repeatedly run me and arrested me, hauled me into court. This is all unreal. I mean, it is so horrific, and nobody does anything about it. I can't get an attorney. They up and leave. If I get one, Bostwick was one. They Xerox it and leave. Anyway, I was flown out to Flint's, and he helped in the campaign to replace the doctor. The plane went down that I had actually written about him, Larry McDonald, a few years earlier, and the plane he was on went down. It was shot down by the Soviets when it veered in, the KAL veered into Russian airspace. And that's how your planes can go down. The persons are programmed, the pilot, the air marshal can be, any of them. You can put 10 or 15 in the cockpit, and that's how far this has gone. Now then, the reason I'm saying this about the Nichols is I told about this last night and this morning on video and Facebook 2 or 3 times. I told about Brian Nichols. He was in Fulton County, Atlanta, Georgia. He was charged with something simple, and by all accounts, he's a nice young man. And he walks out into court where Wayne Williams was found guilty of killing the blacks in 80, 81 back then. I've put this up, too. But he comes out, he grabs a sheriff's deputy gun. And I've forgotten now how it went. It's been a few years back. But he shot a couple before he went outside. Then he went out into another county, and he shot a custom officer. And I think he's dead. And then he held this woman hostage, and that was all on TV and all this back then. But anyway, Brian Nichols was totally under mind control when he did that. So he's in prison for being programmed, and you take your mind away, what have you got left? So the NAACP has known about my kidnapping before I did, And here I'm running around telling the press and media, and it's gotten me nowhere. I mean, I'm kept penniless. I've been made move around, and it's horrible. People don't care what has happened to me and my kids, Mark and Scott, and my family, and my being kidnapped. But my point here is that I put the Brian Nichols name up last night several times and this morning, and now CNN Wolf Blitzer. This is Friday the 10th, April the 10th, and at 1:15, he said that they'd found someone else with a video who videoed the officer shooting Walter Scott, and he's dead, and the officer will be dead if they don't tell all the truth about this and delete this evidence. That's exactly what it is. It happens to be invisible, but it's been deliberately done in patterns. And anyway, the video was done by Gwen Nichols, and she's no relation that I know of to. It's just using the Nichols name and the patterns. So I'm not going to go on further with it. I don't know if the truth's ever going to be told about this or not. It really, so anyway, it's the fact that Gwen Nichols, did another video, and it's using the Nichols name. And anyway, that's all I'm going to say right now. I'm tired. I do not get paid for this. The media gets paid for supposedly they don't do their job. And that's what I want to go after. Who holds them accountable? You're talking about the police, you're talking about this, and granted, in what's happened to me, some of the police have been good, some have been bad. But I don't like to see someone go to prison for something they didn't do. And I don't like what's gone on because the media, I have begged them when some things were so horrific being done to me, and I turned all this over to them for freebies. I fed it to the media. And the networks knew about my kidnapping before I did. And they even wrote me up in Atlanta when I was in this campaign to replace the doctor I wrote about, or one of them. They said I wrote a book on the mafia. Well, that wasn't my words. I wrote about doctors. So if they want to call them in mind control, and then you get into this is the mechanism is mind control used in it, and it goes back to the Tesla files when they were stolen. So you can go back and look at who stole the Tesla files. I think you can find it. I've got it. So I'm going to leave it at that. And most people, you know what they do with it? They just want me dead. They'll start saying, oh, you're nuts. You can Google. You won't get what I'm saying, but you can Google mind control. And they brought MK Ultra before Congress back in '53, gave him a slap on the wrist. So who holds your Congress accountable? Who holds the media accountable? And who holds the NAACP accountable? They don't want this told. There's been blacks. O.J. Simpson was programmed. And his nephew, I believe it was his nephew, worked for the Los Angeles Police Department. And he made the statements that he dreamed it. Well, this is part of, if you want to read up on mind control, on what's really the weapon being used now. And Edward Snowden touched the tip of the iceberg. It goes way beyond that.